All right. Volume of prisms and cylinders is what we're covering today. So we just covered surface area. So remember, surface area, you have to add up all those surfaces, right? And it gets pretty long. A lot of you, when you were doing surface area, you wanted to do volume. You wanted to just multiply them and be done. Okay? And that's what volume is you're going to multiply things together. It's a lot shorter than surface area. Okay? So the volume formula is big B times little h. Now, I usually don't call it that, because what big B represents is the area of the base. So you will hear me refer it to as AH, because it's the area of the base. But typically mathematicians use big B for whatever reason, and I'm not really sure why. Okay? Because doesn't a big A make more sense? Okay? Yeah. So, area of the base. Now, the other thing I need to tell you about is it's called Cavalier's principle. So what Cavalier's principle states is it relates to cylinders. It also relates to prisms. And that is whether your figure is upright or like leaning to a side, it still has the same volume. Okay, so you can see that with these CDs that they have here, whether they're straight up or tilted to the side. I feel like that one's smaller. Is that right? Okay. Whether it's straight up or if it's tilted to the side, they should have the same volume. All right? So, let's start on this first rectangular prism. Okay? So your volume is area of the base times the height of your prism. Your base in this one is a rectangle, correct? What is the area of a rectangle? Base times height. And then it'd be times big H, the height of your prism. So we would do the base of this rectangle is 13. The height of the rectangle is 3. The height of your prism is 5. Okay? And then you would just simply multiply all that together on your calculator. When you do that, you get 195. Okay? I always denote my area with parentheses, but you technically don't need the parentheses in anything we're doing today. Okay? Is there any questions about how it was done? Okay. Let's go to our next one. Our next one, again, it's volume equals area of the base times the height. Your base in this next one is a hexagon. Does anyone remember the area formula for either a polygon or a hexagon? Because they're similar. What is it? One half ANS. You have your big H. So it's 1/2 ANS. A is your apothem. They give us our apothem here. Okay? N is the number of sides. S is the length of each side. Okay, so if you don't remember that, that's what it is. So then it'd be volume equals 1/2 times 7.8 times 6 times 9, and then the height of this is 12. Okay? So for this next test, you have to have those area formulas memorized again. Except for a circle. Remember, a circle is going to be given to you. So you would plug this straight into your calculator. 0.5 times 7.8 times 6 times 9 times 12 gets me 2,527.2. That would be your volume. How do you guys feel about that one? Sound okay? To me, the hardest part is knowing the area formula. Would you guys agree? Okay. So let's jump. So this next one uses that Cavalier's principle. Okay. So our volume formula is AH. Okay. So then volume equals the area of a circle is pi r squared. And then it's going to be times your height. So it's going to be pi times, what's your radius of this? 9. Your radius is actually 9. So it would be 9 squared. Your height is 14. So it would be pi times 9 squared times 14, which is 3,562.6 for your answer. Now, I use the pi button. You can use 3.14. If you do use 3.14, your numbers are probably going to be a little bit off. Okay? Does that make sense? Because pi and 3.14 aren't exactly the same. Okay? But that's okay. As long as you're close, and as long as you maybe showed your work, I'd count it as completely correct. Okay? Do we need to do another cylinder? Can we jump to the next type? Okay? If you already did it, should be 3,000 some, 3,014.4. You already did it. All right. So then what they're going to have you do is they're going to miss part of your formula. They're going to give you your volume and ask you to solve for that missing piece. Okay? So this is a pentagon. Whether it's a hexagon or a pentagon, the formula is the same. Okay? So it's volume equals AH. And again, your area formula of this is going to be that 1/2 ANS times big H. Now, in this picture, I don't know how it got deleted, but it did. But that side there should be 12. Okay? So now we're going to plug in what we know. We know our volume. So that's going to go right here. So that's 1981.99. Equals 1/2. We don't know our apothem. A is our apothem. It's this length here. We don't know it. That's what our X is. N is the number of sides. How many sides are on the base? 5, right? And then the length of each side is 12. And the height of your prism is also 12. So what you would do then is you would multiply the right-hand side numbers together, which gets you 360. So this is 1,981.99 equals 360 times X, and then you would divide by 360. Which is 5.5. I'd like you to try the rectangular prism one on your own. Okay, so try this one right here on your own and see how it goes. So this one you should get 6. So now I'm going to move on to the bottom. So these are composite figures. Composite means there's 2 put together, correct? Okay. So these 2 are actually harder than I think the ones on the homework. But so this one, these 2 are actually set on top of each other. So what are you going to do with the numbers you find? Are you going to add them or are you going to subtract them? Add them. If you have one inside of the other, what are you going to do with your 2 numbers? Subtract them. Okay? So if it's on top, you're going to add. If it's inside of the other, you're going to subtract. So we're going to start with this one. I'm going to find the volume of the bottom first. So the bottom volume is what I'm going to find first. Okay? So remember, it's area of the base times the height of the prism. So the base of this would be 4 times 8, or 8 times 4, it doesn't matter. And then the height of it is 5. So it's going to be 8 times 4 times 5, which is 160. Okay, so that's the volume of the bottom rectangular prism. So now we need to do the volume of the top. Okay, the top, the base is actually this front piece, which is a triangle. The area for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So it's going to be 1/2 times, the base of this is actually 8, okay, because this would transfer up. So it's 1/2 times 8 times 4 square root of 3 times the height of the prism is actually over here, and so that's going to be 4. Okay. When you plug this in your calculator, you're literally going to do 1/2 times 8 times 4 square root of 3, so you have to know how to plug that in, times 4. Okay, and you're going to change that to a decimal. So 0.5 times 8 times 4 square root of 3 times 4 gets me 110.85. And then what did I say you're going to do with those two? Add them. So when you add them, you get 270.85. Do you guys feel like we need to do the cylinder one? Yes, you want to do the cylinder one? All right, so the first thing I need to tell you about the cylinder one, it's not listed, but the radius of your cylinder would be 1.5 square root of 2. You don't need to know how to find that. Okay, I can do it in my head, but you don't need to be able to do that on your test. So I'm going to do it for you. So 1.5 square root of 2 is the radius of your cylinder. Okay. So let's do the cylinder bottom first. So I'm going to call it cylinder volume. Okay. The base of a cylinder is a circle. So the area formula for that is pi r squared. And then remember, we're multiplying by the height of our cylinder. The radius is that 1.5 square root of 2. So it would be pi 1.5 square root of 2 squared. And then the height of your cylinder is this 5 here. So when I plug that in, I get 70.9. Then the inside volume of this, it's a square prism. It's not a cube because the side length and the height are not the same. Okay, so it's not a cube, but it is a square prism because the base is a square. So since your base is a square, that's going to be the 3 times 3. The height of this prism is also 5. And when you multiply that all together, you get 45. Now, if you have one shape inside of the other, you need to subtract. So that would be then 25.9.